How do you do? I'm Wayne Geminer, drilling specialist for ICS Cutting Tools. What we're going to do here is review the operation of the Winslow Model 400 automatic splitter and the various functions and operations of the machine. The very first thing I would like to mention is the geometries involved in splitting a drill are very, very precise and very demanding. So the first item of business when you start your day, your work day, is plan your work. And by planning your work, what you want to do is you want to start out the day with the biggest drill that you're going to split. In this case, about 1/2 inch. And then gradually work down in size or diameter size to the smallest drill of the day. That's the first piece of advice I can give you. Do not try to jump from a big one to a small one, or 1/2 this size yet. There's about 3/16. Don't jump down to a 1/16 or something. Do not go from a big one to a little one unless you can avoid it. Work your way down in diameter size. The second item is absolutely the most important item in splitting drill point geometries, is the chisel angle ground on the point of the drill. The single most important thing is, I have dramatized this drawing a little bit just to demonstrate what I'm talking about. But the chisel angle of a drill is formed by the cutting edge of the drill and then the point of the drill, or the material that's in the middle of the drill. And this angle formed from here to here is called the chisel angle. And right now, the angle formed here is approximately 112 degrees. And when you grind your drills in your pointing operation, you want that angle to be 112 degrees or less, 95 to 112 degrees. And this is the single most important thing about splitting pointed drills. I'm not going to tell you the problems involved in doing it any other way. I am simply telling you that the single most important advice that I can give you is to have a drill pointed to 112 degree chisel angle or less. I am going to show you a drill point that has a chisel angle of about 130 or 135 degrees. If we try to split that point, we will have all kinds of problems. But if you went from the cutter, from the top of the cutter down to the end and across, it would be approximately 135 degrees. We do not, however, want this. We want this chisel angle right here. One more bit of information about the chisel angle. You know that if you shipped out a drill that had a chisel angle like that, the customer probably would not accept it because the geometry is incorrect. However, when we split the drill from approximately here to the center of the drill, and we're removing this material right here to the center of the drill, and on the other cutter we're removing about this much material. So this material here is gone, and this material here is gone, and look at the new angle that we have formed after we have split the drill. We have an angle of approximately 135 degrees, and the angle itself would approximate the chisel angle that is on this conventionally pointed drill. I've lifted the cover, the lid of the machine, and I'm exposing the face of the workhead. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to demonstrate the collating of the drill and the bushing holder of the drill, and the locator on the machine, and how the machine locates. Basically, we're just going to back this out of here, and it exposes a simple 9/16 inch collet. Now, actually, the job that I was doing was a 1/4 inch drill, and of course we know that that's not going to work very good. But the reason I used the 9/16 collet is because the shaft of this drill holder is 9/16. Now, the simple reason that I am using this device is because the length of this drill is much too short for me to axially and radially locate and time the drill. So to make that job much easier, we have a spring-loaded collet reacting holder here. And when I squeeze these wings in, I open up the collet and I simply stick my drill in somewhere, release it, and that locks the drill in the holder. And then all I'm doing is I'm sticking the drill into a 1/4 inch bushing inside this bore here, and the machine will take over. So, if I have drills that are long enough, I would collet to size. If I have small drills, short drills, then I want to use the 9/16 collet and holder to make the job much, much easier. The next operation that we're doing, we took the holder out, I took the collet out, and down at the bottom is the bushing and the bushing holder. So the next thing I'm going to demonstrate is how to properly remove the bushing and or the bushing holder. We were working in the front of the workhead, and now at the bottom of the workhead, in this area right here is a 1/4 inch bushing, which is set into a bushing holder device similar to this. The only difference is this one in my right hand is used for a bigger bushing or a bigger drill size. But the bushing is held in place in the barrel with a set screw right in that location. And all I need to do is loosen the set screw, and I will take a screwdriver at the front, and I'm just going to pop it out into my hand. There we go. And that is the way the bushing works. The range of this particular bushing fits this particular bushing holder. And the way that it goes in, you can see this angle here. Well, the bushing also has that angle, and when you reinsert it, you want to just push it flush and make sure that it's close. You know, perfect doesn't make any difference. This has to be close. So I'm going to put my 1/4 inch bushing back into the workhead, the bushing holder, I mean. Now I got to get that angle right. Now you can see that I'm close. I'm just going to push it in now. And I have it. I'm going to take my Allen wrench and I'm going to snug it up. Now, it doesn't have to be real tight, just snug it up, and that's the way it works. The next item that I will want to demonstrate is this locator. And there are about 4 or 5 different size locators. Zooming in on this shot, I am going to show you a locator, and what I'm going to be demonstrating is this rise from the surface, and then the rise on this one. And you can see there's a dramatic difference in the rise. And what that is that's simply the related to the diameter of the drill and how big the cutters are. So this would be a drill accommodating a drill of about 3/8 to 7 or 3/8 to a 1/2 inch. And this one here would be from about, the smallest one, from about 1/8 of an inch to 1/16 of an inch. You can see the difference. They are located in the locator arm. Being certain that everything is turned off on the machine, the wheel, the coolant, machine start, cycle start, that disengages the hydraulics, and I'm just pulling this arm up. You can see that I'm pulling it up into a working position. It's hydraulically actuated. But what this device is this is called the locator arm, and this, of course, is the locator. At the bottom of the locator arm, this portion of the locator is sticking through, and then we have threads here, and there's a nut that threads on. So we remove the one that's in there and slide this one in from the back side at the bottom, where it is, and just tighten it up and put it in the relative position that the last one was in. In other words, if how to demonstrate this? If the relative position of this portion of the locator were at, say, 10:30 or 11 o'clock, looking at it as a clock, then when I put that back in here, I want it to be located very, very similarly to the one that I just removed. And to actually get it out, what I have to do is I have to loosen this bolt, and then what happens, if I have the arm pulled out of the way, then I can push this whole barrel out, push my arm down, and because I've already loosened it, I just push it out, and then it'll fall down. Then when I have the locator arm in that position, I have to work it into that hole and use when I get it through the locator arm, tighten the nut, making sure that the relative position of the locator knob here is similar to the last one. Tighten it up, pull the locator arm back, reinstall my barrel in approximately that position with the set screw in a position where I can loosen it if I want to change bushings. Then all I do is just tighten up my bolt again, and I'm all set.